Hey everybody, it's Deanna with toolsofenergyprotection.com, your energy shift expert and Akashic Records advisor. How's everybody doing tonight? It is June 14th of 2022, and we have so much to talk about. I can't imagine when we'll ever have a time when there's nothing to talk about. So let's see here. So what I'd like to do is talk to you quickly about what I'm seeing happening on the world scene. I know quite a few of you have reached out to me. Others of you are just so completely stressed out. It's like you're tucking and ducking as a highly sensitive person, an empath, or, a starseed. And, you're just wanting to, try to do your job as an empath, a starseed, or highly sensitive person on this planet at this time. That's what you're really seeking. And so you're kind of like this because of everything that's happening on the world scene. As a human being, you're attempting to navigate these waters that everybody else is in, the whole entire world all at once. And this is the first time that I know in history that the entire world is dealing with everything all at the same time. In the course of history, we've had different continents had this going on, or different continents had that going on. But now we have mass media, the ability to communicate, more or less a global economy. And so we're all swimming in this together. So this is such a unique time to be alive. I keep telling you all that. It's spectacular, it's wonderful, it's unique, it's the crazy train also. And so you've got these two things going on. So it was on my heart today to talk to you about some sensitive subjects that I don't normally like to. However, this is the time. So time for me to shine the light. But my immediate prediction is, where are we going, in 2030, and what does the future hold? Because we only have about 7.5 years till we get there, if my math is right. And there is something, if I can pronounce it correctly, called an interregnum. And basically what that is that's between two ruling factions. When one ruling faction is exiting and one ruling faction is entering, and there's new infrastructure trying to go up, and the old regime is trying to say no, and the new regime is like, no, this is how it's going. And so you have a polarity between these two ruling factions. And in this case, we've got the malefic and the benefic planets in place for the age of Aquarius. And now we're starting to see that unfold on the human scene around the world. And so I do the best I can to remain neutral so I can give you all the information and let you decide for yourselves. But here's what I'm seeing from my vantage point. And the first thing I'm seeing from my vantage point is that we're really at a point where we are redefining society and monetary structures. And up to this point, society has been with strategic alliances and big corporations and the ambiguous they running everything and determining what's going to happen for all of us. And now what I'm seeing is that there's more of a faction that's coming together that's saying, we really don't like that. We don't really want to be ruled in this way. And so the ambiguous they has decided to crank up the heat a little bit to see if they can break us. So things like food prices going up. Okay, if food is really an issue, especially in America, my question is, why are they building so many new homes instead of preserving that land as farmland and getting some government money into growing more food so they can feed their country? That makes no sense to me. The other thing that I don't understand is, how come the gas prices are so high? Seriously, we sat on gas for literally 2 years while we went through COVID and sheltered in place. So the shortage happened when? Don't really understand that. But again, some of you may have the answers, want to reach out and contact me and say all these different things, or maybe you'll unfollow me, I don't know. But what I'm doing is I'm making a definitive statement that we are definitely in between two ruling factions, not only in the country that I live in, but in an entire world. there's a huge battle going on. So the people that, run the food industry are apparently being controlled by the people that don't run the food industry. And then there's also some of the shortages. Is there really a shortage? Modified food sources. So a lot of modification to our food sources. I had a tomato plant that last year, it didn't die, in fall. So I brought it in the house. And this tomato plant, no joke, I should take a picture of it and post it for you all. But not only did it grow up, but it grew over like a vine. And it fruited in winter. That's not normal for tomato plants. I grew up on a farm. I know what this stuff looks like. Genetically modified. A lot of people have food allergies these days. I don't really think they're allergic to wheat. What I think they're allergic to is the modifications that took place in the seeds to try to make more food. Really? All right. So what I'm seeing is something similar to Oliver Cromwell's time. What I'm seeing is the beginning of us going between 1649 and 1660 and beginning to, try to create something new, because what we've had apparently isn't working. And so I'd also like you to notice today that not only was the stock market shaking up, and, in the past people said, hey, let's create crypto and let's use crypto instead of the stock market to make our investments. And the ambiguous they, who runs the stock markets, apparently didn't like that. So now we have the stock market and crypto crashing on the same day. Anyway, I probably already got myself in too much trouble, gotten people riled up. Some people love me. Some people hate me. Some people will probably never join me again for a session. But this is what I'd like for you to look at. Please look at the things that are happening. Look at the food shortages. Look at the right to bear arms and the control that's going on there, and what's happening and why. Look at the employment market. Really, they're telling me that we have a shortage of workers? Well, we didn't before COVID. So what happened? Did they all disappear? Did a big dark hole swallow them up? And now they're just suddenly gone, and now there's not enough workers? What happened there? So we have an income variable. We have, are we making our money from the government? Is that's what's happening? Is it going to work and having a viable job and having some pride in yourself versus having the government hand you money? Is that where we're at? Is that why there's not so many workers? And let's talk about the homeless and the domestic crisis going on. We've got homeless people, tons of them. How come? Why are we not doing something to take care of the people in this country that are already here and apparently struggling? That's my curiosity question. Just throws more chaos on the mix. But you've also got a rise in domestic crisis. You've also got a rise in mental health issues, and they're at an all-time high. And climate change. You've got India with insurmountable heat. You've got Africa that hasn't seen rain in 2 years. Is this Armageddon? Kind of looks like it. However, what I'm seeing is that this is a time when we're in between structures. So as an empath, a starseed, and a highly sensitive person, my question to you is, are you going to rise up and shine your light and walk through all the muck? Or are you going to tuck and duck and hide in a corner and hope it all goes away? That's my question to you today. So I have to wrap up here very quickly because I have another engagement tonight. But again, I know this stuff is controversial, and some of you are, like I said, maybe deleted all the social media you follow me on and deleted my email. But this is where it's at. People, wake up. If this is not the biggest cry for light workers to get it together, to stand up and to claim your power as a highly sensitive person or empath, because this Jumanji game isn't going to get better for a while, and you need to be able to navigate what's happening, to see the truth, the love, and the light, because there is a path through all of this. But if you can't see it because your spidey senses are clogged, because you're living in fear, you're going to have a hard time. So I'm going to be starting the Spiritual Awakening Academy again in the first weekend in July. So like Independence Day, okay? True independence. If you're interested in that, go to toolsofenergyprotection.com, click on Spiritual Awakening Academy, and you'll find an application. For those of you that have already applied, I'm going through the applications one by one, and I hope you'll join us. If you're at that point where you're like, you don't know what to do next, you're deer in the headlights, you don't know what your particular future is going to look like. Are you going to make it? Are you not going to make it? You know, is your relationship going to last? Are you going to lose your job? Are you going to lose your 401k? You know, all that stuff. Then I'm going to be at the bookstore tomorrow, which is Wednesday. I know, an abnormal day for me, on June the 15th, 2022, and Thursday, because there were so many of you asking me to work with you that I set up an additional time. Okay. So I would really like for you to reach out so we could do an Akashic Records reading for you, and we can look and see what's coming up. So at least you know what your game plan is going to look like going forward. And let's get you out of that fear and dust you off and give you a big hug. Okay. So if that's you, you're an empath, you're hiding in the corner, you're looking at the world scene, you're freaking out, and you're wondering where the money's going to come from, you're wondering where the food's going to come from, it's going to be there, I promise. God, Spirit, Source would never let us suffer. We're here for a reason. We're here to do a job. And in order to do that job, we need to have a safe place to live, plenty of fresh water and food to eat and drink. So let's help you to find the love and the light. And as always, big hugs and kisses. I'm going to be at the bookstore in Denver. You can come see me. We can do a Zoom meeting or just on the phone. And grab yourself a small appointment of 30 minutes if you like, or work a whole hour. And let's get you straightened around, because there's nothing like having the spiritual glasses on during a time like this. So don't wait. You're not going to want to miss out. 2 days back to back at the bookstore, Wednesday and Thursday. And that's it for this week. Okay, so don't miss out. Call 303-964-9339 or go to toolsofenergyprotection.com, click on contact. There's a form to fill out. Just write me and say you want to meet, and I will reach out to you and we'll schedule a time together. So hang in there, everybody. My prediction for 2030, sorry, I forgot to give you the bottom line. And the bottom line is, the prediction is, it depends on what you do and how you contribute to the collective consciousness and how you contribute to the spiritual battle. Are you going to get your ass kicked, or are you going to stand up and fight? And are you going to fight in a way that doesn't wear you out and doesn't drain your energy? That's my question to you. So you want to know, how is 2030? It depends on every single starseed, empath, highly sensitive person on this planet. Depends on the collective consciousness and whether we're going to live in fear or whether we're going to stand the storm and claim our power. That's it. Okay. A lot of other predictions can be made, you know, by a lot of different people. And you may be like, oh, Deanna, I thought you were going to tell us, you know, if we could do this or that. No, I'm telling you how to change the future. How to change the future is better than knowing how it maybe or might not turn out. Capiche? All right. Big hugs and kisses. Gotta run. Bye.